Hello everybody, greetings and welcome to the Scorpion Editor Ultra Beginner's Guide tutorial number 8. And in today's tutorial we're going to be looking at collisions between the different objects and actions that can happen when things collide with each other. So by the end of this tutorial we're going to have nothing fancy, but we're going to have a playable game. So let's get started and enjoy. Alright, we're going to start off by copying our project number 7 player, and we'll paste it and rename it to number 8 collisions. And then from project number 3 audio, we'll grab our explosion sample, explosion.wave, and we're going to paste that into here. The other bit of prep work we're going to do is get a transparent panel ready. So we're going to open, if we look at this as large icons, we'll open blocks.png. We'll resize that to 256 by 200, and export that as panel.png. Now we're ready to open the project. Okay, and we're actually going to have a game over sequence in this project. So we're going to copy this map, call it game over, edit the map, and we'll go into the actors layer and just erase the player from the map, so it's just going to be a blank set of squares. There we go. So in our startup, we'll just test the game over by itself. So we'll duplicate this line, disable the first one, we'll change the level to game over, just test that out. We should just see a blank level or blank set of tiles there. That's what we expect to see. That's good. So if we recall from Hello World, the very first tutorial, we want to create a panel, but this time we're going to create a transparent panel instead of a black one. We'll make this one bottom panel. For some reason bottom panel lets it be transparent in front of the background without making the whole background black, so we'll stick with that. We'll add a talk pad to it with the default font, and we'll drag it to somewhere around the middle, about here. Okay, we'll add a code block that's going to run when this level starts. And we'll call that game over with an underscore in front of it. When it loads, we're going to display the panel. It's going to be the bottom panel, new panel. Then we'll go to dialog. Actually, just bear with me here. Go to display, sorry, and load a talk pad. Set talk pad, alright. Set the panel to new panel. Then this one is going to be dialog. Say game over and wait for the fire button to be pressed. Then after that happens, we're going to load the load the game again. So that's going to be load new map. Okay. And we're seeing nothing. Okay, and the reason we saw nothing is because in our map needed to remember to start up a code block when the map loads, and we're going to start up the code block game over. And the other thing to remember is when you load the panel, by default unload level is clicked. So if we run that as such, you'll get the text displaying with just a black screen. If you uncheck unload level and run it again, then you'll get your background with the text displayed transparently over top of it like we want to do. And if we have our panel set to main middle panel, it'll override the background and not be transparent, even though the panel image is transparent. So we've set it to be the bottom panel, and when it loads, it's loading into bottom panel here. Alright, so now that the game over level's been tested, we'll comment that out here and load in just the normal new map. and that's got our player on it. We'll edit the map and put the aliens back in, so we click on actors, click on our alien, we'll add just 3 of them in random places as so. We'll save that. Close it, yeah. Yeah, we'll load that. Okay, they're bouncing around the screen. And so on. So now we're going to add collisions and make it into the sort of bare bones of a playable game. And we're going to keep things real simple, so we'll go to actors, new actor, that's our alien. We'll probably rename that later on. On hit by projectile, just for now we'll say destroy actor, so it'll just disappear. On collide with player, and we'll load next level, with the next level being game over. So there we have it, the one of the aliens collided with us, we went to game over, we hit the start button to, well, start another game, and there we go again. This time we'll try and shoot something. So you'll notice, what you'll notice is our collisions aren't that accurate. That's because our collision box is only this little tiny rectangle inside the actor. To make the collisions more accurate, we'll stretch it out a bit so that we won't have things seeming like they're missing when they shouldn't be. If we make it too big, then we'll make things too difficult. We'll have the opposite problem. We'll have it not actually touching things and appearing to collide when it's not colliding. So you want it sort of you want it to compromise between those two things. Bullet. Yeah, we'll move that collision box to there. And the player, well, we don't want to make it too easy, don't want to make it too difficult, so we'll make a collision box, maybe like this. It can stick out a little bit around the corners, just not too big, not too small, somewhere in between, and it lets you nicely set that in a GUI type of interface, which is quite nice. And once we've shot everything, well, there's nothing left to do, they've all disappeared. So that's the basics of collisions. We'll add some sound effects. Just add another thing to it, but we'll leave it at that after that. This is sort of the real basics of a playable game. So we'll create a code block called alien kill, and then we'll add another one called player kill. And these things are going to do pretty much the same as what these default destroy actor and load next level commands are doing. We'll just play a sound effect first before we do those things. So an alien kill will play the sound explosion, and then we'll destroy the actor, which is actor destroy actor is the default, right? Player kill, we're also going to trigger the sound explosion. And then we'll go to level, and we'll load game over. And then what we'll remember to do is change these events. So on hit by a projectile, it'll go to alien kill. On collide with player, it'll go to player kill. We'll see how that goes. So it's the same thing, just we've got an explosion happening when we either shoot something or we get destroyed by crashing into something. Alright, that's it. That's the bare skeleton of a playable game here. Collisions Part 1. On the next tutorial we'll get into adding some bells and whistles to this, making it a bit nicer, but that's it for this. Hope you enjoyed it, and catch you later.